Welcome to another edition of Film Room Fridays. This is Robby Nardini with Armchair Illini. Wanted to break down, as you can see, the Illinois UConn Elite Eight game from 2024. Big time non-conference game coming up on Friday on national television against UConn. It's a good opportunity for Illinois to hopefully not get embarrassed again and hopefully bounce back and get some revenge against UConn after that Elite Eight loss. Illinois should match up a lot better this season compared to the UConn team that was one of the best teams of all time. But let's get into it. I'm breaking down all of UConn's baskets in that 30-0 run. So let's start with this one. Cam Spencer comes off a curl screen, ends up missing the three, and Illinois just can't get this offensive rebound. Might have been a foul on Karaban against Terrence Shannon Jr. Might have been a little flop by him, but seems like Terrence thought it was a foul, and easy three for UConn following that offensive rebound, unfortunately. So this 30-0 run started in the first half. It was a 23-23 game. Illinois crowd was into it, but that changed quickly at the end of this half. Quincy Guerrier ends up fouling Tristan Newton, and he ends up making both free throws here to make it 28-23. Illinois ends up having a couple opportunities to get buckets before the end of the half. Terrence had a tip in at the end of the half that he ended up missing. He could have came down with it, I think, with a couple seconds left. But we go into the second half, 28-23. Here's another UConn possession to start the half. Looks like they're going right away to Clingan. He's already having a day in this game with blocks and scoring. Ty Rodgers tries to dig a little bit here. A good back cut by Tristan Newton again, and it's just one-on-one Clingan versus Coleman Hawkins, and Clingan wins the matchup once again for an easy bucket. Here on offense for Illinois, they went back to that, Domask ISO booty ball that worked so well this season. Karaban's on him, who's a little bit taller and a little bit bigger than what he's seen on defense, I think. So that bothers Domask a little bit, and UConn just gets out in transition here. Just did not get back. Domask was the one who shot it, so there's no reason why any of these three guys should not be in the paint. At least, Coleman Hawkins, I think, was at the top of the key or nearby in this play, and Karaban just goes straight down and makes a layup to make it 32-23. This one came off a turnover out of an out-of-bounds play, a lazy pass out of bounds where UConn gets a run out, and Coleman ends up actually getting a good block on Clingan, but they call it a foul. Clingan makes one of two to make it 33-23. Here's another example of Illinois trying to go at Clingan. Clingan really met Quincy Guerrier at the rim. I don't really blame him for trying to dunk on him, but Clingan's just too big and too good of a shot blocker and doesn't let it happen. It's basically another turnover. UConn gets going. They play at a slower pace, but if you're going to let them go in transition, obviously they're going to take it. And just another opportunity for Clingan to say too small. Goody tries to front Clingan, but it's not enough, and Clingan dunks over Shannon. That's 35-23. This is a nice rip drive by Karaban. UConn's playing faster than they usually do, but if you're going to give them an easy rip drive to the rim, Domask tries a challenge, but Karaban's too much, and that's 37-23. UConn's getting out in transition again. Pull up three for Karaban. He ends up missing it, but here's an area where UConn just dominated Illinois in this 30-0 run. Offensive rebounds and smallest guy on the court maybe. Cam Spencer gets the rebound and puts up a layup over Hawkins to make it 39-23. Cam Spencer's excited, pumping up the crowd. Game's pretty much over at this point, 39-23, but the run goes on. Clingan gets another easy touch on Coleman Hawkins in the paint. Gets a layup right over him to make it 41-23. That's just too easy for Clingan. Illinois didn't do a good job of making it hard for him to catch the ball, and when he's that deep on the block, it's just going to be too easy for a guy like that to score over an undersized big guy. do a little double screen here. Cam Spencer comes off it, and Karaban just an easy pick and pop. 3, he gets the roll there, but now it's already 44-23. And then Clingan gets a couple more free throws here. Makes it 45-23, knocks down both, so 46-23 is a pretty good free throw shooter, so you can't really just start doing hack-a-shack on him, unfortunately. But here on offense for Illinois, they're 0 for 11 on field goals in the first half. Shannon goes to the rim and tries to challenge the UConn big guy. This time it isn't Clingan, but he still blocks it. UConn run out, another easy lay-in for UConn to make it 48-23. Three ball by Goody here, not the best shot, pretty contested, and Illinois has yet to make a field goal in the second half. Easy run out again for Karaban. Illinois fails to get back on defense, and I think that's the third or fourth layup that UConn has had throughout this run. And that's an and one for Karaban. Shannon was a little bit too late to challenge that one, and Karaban knocks down the free throw too. Here's just a lazy out-of-bounds play by Goody. It's the second one of the half, and it just gives UConn another easy bucket. I mean, if you're going to pass the ball deep in the half court, you're going to have to put some oomph on this pass, and he just does not. Cam Spencer steals it so easily, and it's another run out for UConn. And that's 53-23, and Illinois finally scores when they get a run out. Justin Harmon layup came off a turnover, and that finally cut the lead to 53-25 after more than 8 minutes of Illinois not scoring. So that's a little breakdown of every UConn bucket in the 30-0 run. Some breakdowns in the out-of-bounds plays, breakdowns offensive rebounding, and really just not getting back on defense. So hopefully Friday against UConn, things will change there. Like I said, Illinois is a little bit better matched up against this UConn team. UConn isn't nearly as good. So hope you enjoyed this video. Looking forward to the game. Thanks, guys.